Hello, I'm Diane Kubal, founder of Fulcrum Network. And again, we're back with another series with Dr. Susan Cain on the DISC and conflict styles. We're so familiar, many of us, with the Thomas Kilmann conflict style, and we've gotten permission to use their conflict model and overlay it with DISC. So there's some interesting correlations here. So, Dr. Cain, maybe you could talk a little bit about how the disc model aligns with the Kilman model and about the C style.
Oh, sure. So when you look at the Kilman conflict indicator, you can see that the possible approaches to conflict are divided. I think it's a wonderful model, into competing up on the upper left-hand quadrant to collaborating up on the right towards the middle, compromising, and then avoiding on the left and accommodating on the right. Let's take a look at how the C would manage conflict and how a good manager could help C's be more effective during times of conflict. So, a C is a wonderful avoider. They think in terms of refining things. They already naturally think in terms of conflicts with the world, and they tend to have a wonderful, keen sense of what's not working well. And in the case of a good C, if they talked about what's not working well all the time, they wouldn't have any social life or family life to speak of. So they've learned to suppress a lot of their wonderful, good, refining thinking. And what that does is it doesn't make their thoughts available to the team at large. So the task of a good manager would be to help the C conscientious individual step up and become a bit more assertive. Instead of holding their thoughts in, it would be to share their thoughts. And a simple rule that I use in coaching individuals is when you have some feedback to give that is what we would think of as a little bit conflictual in nature, or might come off feeling to others as conflictual, then moderate your tone of voice and deliver the bad news with at least a neutral tone, if not a soft voice. Asking to give others feedback and coaching a C to ask to give others feedback is also a critical part of others being willing to listen to a C comment on what's not working during times of conflict. So, a good C, again, to recap, would simply embrace the idea that their knowledge is useful to others, ask to give feedback, and then say, my thoughts are here. This is what I've been thinking about. Now, that's a whole different way of approaching conflict than avoiding or blurting. There's something here that we can help our C's with so that they don't have to maintain so much control and withdraw from people, but they can literally offer up their information in an amazingly positive way.
So, how would a manager deal with the C during some kind of conflict?
So they would ask them to share their ideas. Perhaps there would be the manager would introduce some norms for giving feedback. We ask others if we may give feedback. We use a neutral tone of voice. We use soft eyes and an approach that is certainly not destructive or if too authoritative, too directive. And we ask the C individual to step into that position of sharing their best thoughts with making a process better, improving a process.
Yeah, this can be so helpful because going into a conflict conversation is already a little scary. People are nervous and they're not sure how to act. So, having the ammunition and understanding where this person is coming from and how to approach them is just going to make the conversation go a little bit smoother, maybe give the manager a little more confidence, and perhaps it could help the outcomes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this particular course that we have in our Modern Manager series is called Having Difficult Conversations, where we introduce the Kilman model as well as the DISC model and how to use those as a manager in dealing with conflict on your team. So if you'd like to learn more, click on the links in this post. Our last post is going to be on the topic of coaching skills. How do you coach people of different styles? Stay tuned.